Hello, welcome Rebels. My name is Ashley. Thank you so much for joining me today for our mini yin sequence, or what I like to call a yinny. This is about a half an hour practice, and any of the poses can be done together. My hope is that you stay on and that we finish the practice all together as a community. But if you only have a short amount of time, maybe you take 10 to 15 minutes and do what you need to do just to connect with your body and bring your mind to the mat. So speaking of that, a couple of items that are suggested but certainly not required would be a mat or a towel or a blanket to practice on. Maybe you choose to take your practice outside. That's one of my favorite places to practice. And then a blanket or a towel to sit on just to give us a little bit of extra support. And then blocks. You can also use books or even a pillow. What matters most is you. You are here. You have taken time out of your busy schedule to let yourself unwind, to give yourself time to just be and breathe. So however long you're tuning into this video for, if you choose to just lay here and listen to the relaxing music and breathe, then my friends, you are doing yoga. If you do some of the poses or all of the poses, my friends, you are doing yoga. So do what feels best to you in your body. I am here to simply guide you. If you happened to tune into last week's class, we focused a little bit on the chakras, or the energy circles that start here below our navel and go all the way up past the crown of our head. A really interesting book that sort of turned me on to the idea of chakras, and it's an excellent way to start learning a little bit more in a fun, exciting way, nothing too intimidating, is this book, The Chakras Activity Book and Journal. It even talks about music to listen to align and balance your chakras or unblock, clothes to wear, all different fun activities. It's just also just a nice little break away from your busy work life, your school life, your personal life. It's another way to just help us unwind and let go. Slide that over there. And let's go ahead and get started, remembering that this is your mat and your way. So just do what feels best to you in your body today. Let's take those shoulders all the way up to the ears, because those shoulders tend to magnetize themselves to the ears. And then very slowly let it all go, coming up to a nice place of stillness, a tall, flat back, breathing in from that root chakra all the way up to the crown of the head. Let's fill up our cup, breathe in. And sigh it out. Starting with some cleansing breaths. Breathe in. Release. One more just like that. Breathe in. Let go. As we come into the movement part of our practice, begin to focus on that constant cycle of breath, breathing in and releasing, breathing in and releasing. That constant pattern of breath is what brings us and keeps us here in the present. And we'll begin to bring some movement and match that to our breath, coming into a deer pose. So our top left leg is at a 90-degree angle, And then our right leg is also at a 90-degree angle. We can adjust as much as necessary. Sitting up nice and tall. If the knee is starting to lift off of the mat, or we'd like a little bit extra of a hip opener, we can use a block, we can roll up a blanket or a towel, and let's roll those shoulders up and back, really focusing first on that root chakra, that area that helps us know that we are secure in our space, in our bodies, in our minds. Breathing in. Option to close the eyes down to start to tune inward a little bit more. That can help us bring our mind to the mat. More on the left side, continuing to sit up a little bit taller, recognizing I am centered, I am safe. Breathe. One more. Wonderful job. Still getting settled. Keeping the eyes closed. If they're closed, gently begin to rotate the legs over to the right. We can still use the block if we would like underneath that right knee. Get settled. Remembering I am safe. I am secure. Breathe. And release. Five more. We got this. One more. Gently releasing the knees, keeping the eyes closed, or we can blink them open. Moving up just a little bit more. Oops. Flying blocks to the the sacral chakra, which is just below the belly button. That's our center for creativity and expression. As we slowly move into a tabletop position, being gentle with ourselves, we can use this towel or blanket for extra support on the knees if the knees are sensitive. Taking one cleansing breath here in a tabletop. Breathe in just as we did when we began. And sigh it out. And then working on opening that sacral chakra. Slowly begin to take that right foot on the outside of the right hand. We can use those blocks or those books to help elevate. And as we walk that foot out, we'll begin to peel the foot off of the mat, coming into a lizard or a dragon. So we can stay here looking forward, recalling and repeating the intention for this particular chakra. I am creative. Or we can lower down and begin to gently press that knee away. So pressing on the inside of the thigh. Maybe you try both. Get settled here and breathe. Also activating the root chakra and the solar plexus, which we'll get to next, by drawing the belly button in and up. May decide to look over that shoulder for an extra twist. This pose is slightly more intense than the one we started with, so keep breathing. 5 more, we got this. Two more. Deep belly breath in and release. Slowly bring those hands back to center, lifting ourselves up. Right knee meets left. Hold in tabletop, big breath in. And sigh it out, release. Gently begin to move the left knee over. Ooh, one side sometimes is a little bit tighter than the other, and that's fine. We're certainly not judging, we're noting. And then we're making adjustments as needed as we walk that foot out, peeling that left foot up and over. We can stay here looking forward, activating those first 3 chakras, feeling that we are centered. Or we can begin to place the left hand gently on the inside of the left thigh, reminding ourselves, I am creative, I am expressive. More rounds of breath here. We got this. All together. We can twist. Two more. We have a break coming, I promise. Wonderful. Slowly bring that foot back into the center and then slide the left knee over to meet the right in that tabletop position. Sending one block here about where you think your hips might land, and then another block to the back of the mat. I told you have a break coming and you are going to get it. Before we send and bring and come down to our supported bridge pose, let's take a cleansing breath together and release. Gently begin to lower those hips back down to the earth. This is where we can use a blanket, maybe even over the block. Bringing the soles of the feet to the mat, lifting the hips up, and then lowering ourselves down for a supported bridge pose. You might choose to use the other block as a pillow. That's an option for you. You can place a block in between the knees and let the head fall down. Just deciding what feels comfortable to you today. And if the blocks are not your thing, then just set them aside, because this is your body and your time. You know what's best. Getting rooted here as we move up and focus on our solar plexus, our area of power and will. Our intention here being, I am confident. So getting settled in here for a few moments and reconnecting with the breath after some of those powerful hip openers. Deep belly breath in Release. Feeling everything melt, feeling ourselves secure on the mat. Noting what's happening, the sensations in the body. Repeating to ourselves, I am confident. Feeling the rise and fall of the breath. That constant change, the breath brings us to the present. Just a few more here. This is a fantastic pose to help us regulate our central nervous system, something that we can do if we're having a hard time staying focused or falling asleep at night. Two more breaths. Placing the hand palms down. Begin to lift the hips up and off of the mat, removing the block if you used it, lowering down, releasing the other block, hugging everything in. Taking a big breath in. Release. Bringing the soles of the feet together as we lower the legs down. Coming into a supported butterfly pose as we focus in a little bit on the heart chakra, the center of our strong trunk of the body. This energy force focuses in on our empathy, our love for ourselves, our love for each other, the love that we have for our community and our environment. Getting settled in here in this supported butterfly. Both hands can be at the heart, or just as we did in our supported bridge, we may choose to place one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly, connecting with that deep belly breath in. Release. Our intention for this chakra being I am love. Breathe. Let go. A few more here. What else can we melt into the mat? What else can we leave here, leave behind? Remembering I am love. Breathe. more. We got this. Big breath in as we slowly bring the knees together. And release, hug those knees in. Rocking back and forth. Big breath in together. And release. Begin to slowly send the feet all the way back to the earth. Make that connection. Feel those strong roots from the root chakra all the way up to the heart chakra. As we begin to gently come up into a seat, we can also roll over onto the right or left side. Take a moment here. You might be feeling a whoosh of energy, so be gentle with ourselves as we move into focusing on the throat chakra, our voice. And then coming back to that tabletop position. This is a place where we can use that blanket or the pillow for our knees. Blocks may be used for this. If the wrists are sensitive, we can also come down to forearms. So whatever kind of tabletop position we're in, separate those fingertips nice and wide. Breath in. And release. As we move into the throat chakra, our intention turns to I am truth as we breathe and lift the hips to the sky, pushing the heart forward, lifting the eyes up into a cow pose, and then gently pushing away into a cat as we round the spine. Moving at a pace that works for us as we breathe into cow. Working on our spinal flexion. This is a good counter pose from the work that we were doing on our spine. And then exhale, push the earth away, cat. And continue to do 5 more cat-cows, moving and breathing at a pace that works for us. Remembering I am truth. Wonderful job. Stick with it. This is the time where that mind might begin to wander. Release that temptation to let it, recognizing that we are not our thoughts and that we don't have to think every thought or feel every feeling. Honor your time with your breath. 2 more. We got this. One more, moving and breathing into cow. Exhaling to cat. Returning to tabletop, big breath in all together. And let go. Bringing the big toes to touch. Knees can stay together or send them out wide. You may also choose, instead of a traditional child's pose, to come into reverse child's pose, which I will show you in a minute. And then pressing the hips back, coming down to settle into a child's pose. So this is a traditional child's pose, moving into the 3rd eye chakra. That space in between our eyebrows and on our forehead. We can gently rock back and forth here. doing a gentle massage, we can stay here and breathe. Or if you prefer to come back to the spine, an alternative as we begin to repeat our intention for this third eye chakra is I am wisdom. We so often try to go externally for wisdom, but we don't give ourselves enough credit to realize that everything we need is within us. So if you're just choosing to stay in traditional child's pose, you may. You may also, as an alternative, come to a reverse child's pose, hugging the knees in, and then taking the fingers, begin to gently massage that third eye area. So just always trying to give you a few different options, what feels best in your body, recognizing I am wisdom. And of course, I am breathing in and I am breathing out. So whatever you chose for this particular posture, stick with it for 5 more rounds of breath. We got it. Breathe in. Two more, we can do this. And then wherever we are, slowly coming up to a seated position. So from reverse child's pose, stretch the legs out and begin to come up. Very gently breathing in and releasing. If we're coming from a traditional child's pose, as we come up, same thing, stretch those legs out. Either way, we're helping release any tension in the hips and the low back. And then gently coming back to our seat, to our roots. You may choose to sit on a block to elevate. Also a good time to drink some water before we move into our final posture. You may choose to sit up on your blanket or your pillow. And if you have, pardon me, if you have a wall or a space, maybe the back of a couch, I recommend that you end here, sitting up nice and tall to adjust the posture, taking the shoulders back. And just as we did when we began, let's lift those shoulders all the way up. And then exhale, release. Returning to that deep belly breathing as we focus on our final chakra, our crown chakra, recognizing I am whole, I am one. If sitting in this supported staff pose doesn't speak to you, you can always sit cross-legged and start to breathe in and release. Imagining that we're activating all of these energy centers from the root all the way into that crown chakra, feeling our oneness, our wholeness, hands up, receiving that new energy. Breathe and release. 5 more. Feeling all of those energy centers light up. Recognizing I am whole, I am complete. Two more. One more. You may choose to stay here for your final resting posture, or you may choose to come down to a traditional savasana or laying on your belly, extending the legs out long, arms go out wide, letting everything melt, taking up space for yourselves as we breathe in. Recognizing you are exactly where you are supposed to be, right here, right now. Stay in this final resting posture for as long as you would like. But if you need to go about the rest of your day or evening, take a big stretch, reach everything up and over, and then hug everything in. Rolling over onto your right or left side, taking 3 breaths in together. Breathing in gratitude, breathing out gratitude, breathing in peace, breathing out peace, breathing in love, breathing out love, slowly coming up to a seated position. Finding your strong roots. Sitting up nice and tall, taking a big breath in, and bowing to seal the practice. The light in me honors, respects, and appreciates the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much, Rebels, for joining me today for this practice. And more importantly, thank yourselves for honoring your mind and body and making that connection. If you are ever on campus, you can join me at 6:15 a.m. Yes, I know that's early, on Wednesday mornings for a 45-minute class. And you can also catch me at the Student Wellness and Recreation Center on Thursday evenings from 5:30 to 6:30. Make sure that you take care of yourselves, drink lots of water, and remember to breathe. Thank you.